First of all, show me your friends. Why only leftists are protesting against Israel? When you see the protests throughout the world, all these universities, but on the streets as well, why the left are pro-Palestine? Why? Why Arab countries do not contribute with the migration crisis throughout the world? What about Qatar? They are not taking migrants. Migrants are mostly Arabic speaking, right? Why they are not going to Qatar? And in the same time, Qatar is paying money for a great PR to attack basically Israel as well, but basically build a beautiful story about itself. And the biggest scandal in the history of the European Parliament.
Recently, since October 7th, Israel and Hamas, Gaza, Palestine, the level of division, especially in America, protesting university schools, all the stuff that we've been seeing, very chaotic, very disruptive. But there's also the major opposition right now. You'll see a lot of influencers right now that are, going with this message in a big way. Wow, we're no longer America first. America is Israel first. It's all about what Israel wants. And it's, America through AIPAC, and I'm just giving it to you, and I want to hear you. So, it's all about AIPAC, and AIPAC controls all these politicians. And if they want to get rid of them, look what they did to Cory Bush. Look what they did to, Bowman, and look what they're doing to all these other guys. And if they want to do this, you better be careful because they're going to do this to you. And it's because of, and even I had a guy on the podcast that was like, hey, the world is a better place if Israel does it. I'm like, well, the world's a better place if Israel. Yeah. So what do you say to both sides? Okay. Obviously, you've been not talking very complimentary of the Muslim community or straight up. I mean, a person's watching this, they're going to know exactly where you stand when it comes down to the Muslim community.
That's what I want. As a politician, I want everyone to know what I think, what I'm going to do by in a legislation. I want to be very, very clear. I don't like politicians.
There's zero gray with you.
Yes.
Zero gray with you.
Yes.
It's very evident.
Yeah.
But what do you say to those that say, Jews, Israel and Jews run the world, and, AIPAC runs the world, and whatever they want, they get? What do you say to them?
I say, look who's protesting against Israel and who's protesting in favor of Gaza. People with the red flags, with the T-shirts with Marx, Stalin, Lenin, communists. When you see, show me your friends, I'll let you know who you are. Look at the protests. Universities, not only that. When you see who is protesting, you will see young and old communists. In Poland, to wear a T-shirt with Stalin is against the law. You would end up in jail. Promoting fascism and Stalinism, communism, is forbidden.
In Poland?
Yes. You cannot wear swastika. You cannot wear communist symbols, because we went through so much hurt, so much terrible experiences that in our law, you are not allowed to wear Hitler or Stalin. And I had this conversation, I think, I was on Tucker Carlson. Someone asked me, what about free speech? It's against free speech. So, okay, so let's say that someone will break in your house, rape your wife, kill your children, and your neighbor next day will sell a T-shirts with this guy as a hero. Would you let it happen? Or you would react that a murderer is promoted as a hero, as someone who is special, who's cool? In Polish law, you are not allowed to promote communism and fascism. You cannot have Hitler and you cannot have Stalin on your T-shirts. In US, and in other places, people who are protesting against Israel in favor of Gaza or Palestine, whatever, they are communists. And when I see them, when I see this crowd, if someone is asking me, I am very, very straight. I hope Israel will do whatever it's needed to keep Israel safe. Because on one side, we have these communists, idiots who do not know history, do not know anything. They do not know what's 2 + 2. But on one hand, we have these communists protesting against Israel in favor of free Palestine. On the other hand, we have very rich Arab countries like Qatar, who are responsible for the biggest corruption scandal in European Union. CatarGate exploded, and it was about $50 million as a bribes to members of the European Parliament for a beautiful, good PR for Qatar. As you know, Qatar had a problem PR. We had a problem because many people died during the stadium buildings before the World Cup, and they tried to convince the world that everything is okay on the building sites, that the conditions are good and workers are fine. Many of them died. So what they did, they went to vice president of the European Parliament, and apparently, from what we heard in the parliament and in the media, they paid over 50 million euros, Qatar. Basically, they bought a vice president of the European Parliament, many of members of the European Parliament, to work for Qatar. So from one side, we have stupid communists. Then we have very rich Qatar paying bribes for PR in European Parliament. And then Israel is the one who is blamed for all the evil. Israel has the right to protect itself. What happened in October was unacceptable. And now they pay the price for their radical Islamist terror, which is spread for years throughout the world. If you could name me any Israeli terror attack, do you know any terrorists from Israel? Every single time we hear Munich, then the cases. The world is surprised that Israel was hunting down Germans who are responsible for Holocaust. The international law.
They would tell you U.S. Liberty, the ship. They would tell you,
I would do the same. I would take my gun and kill the guy on the spot. I wouldn't care about international law because the ones who are responsible for Holocaust, they had a mercy because they were they were basically.
Are you familiar with the USS Liberty incident?
Yeah.
When they shot down the U.S. ship, Israel did?
Yeah, I know, but the question is, does the Israel has the right to protect itself? It's not Israel who attacked Palestine, Gaza. That was a reaction, the reaction after October. And then on the other side...
I'm only responding because I know the audience watching this who doesn't agree with you is going to say, what are you talking about? No, they attacked the USS.
No,
they knew the ship. You're talking about October 7th. But I'm telling you, when you said, was there any terrorist attacks? They'll say they attacked the U.S. ship. They'll say they shot down a plane and then they said, we're sorry. Russia didn't know. They're bad people. Israel, they're forgiven. So they'll come back and say...
There is no balance. There is no balance between the aggression, terror, fear throughout the years from the Arab side and the reaction of Israel. First of all, show me your friends. Why only leftists are protesting against Israel? When you see the protests throughout the world, all these universities, but on the streets as well, why the left are pro-Palestine? Why? Why Arab countries do not contribute with the migration crisis throughout the world? What about Qatar? They are not taking migrants. Migrants are mostly Arabic speaking, right? Why they are not going to Qatar? And in the same time, Qatar is paying money for a great PR to attack basically Israel as well, but basically build a beautiful story about itself. And the biggest scandal in the history of the European Parliament, I tell you the story, they were bringing cash from Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a meeting point in Paris. From Paris, in a car, they were bringing loads of cash to Belgium, and they were spreading it through for the corrupted MEPs. And one day they had so much cash, I know that from one of the arrested, that they had to throw it away. They couldn't, and he banned it in the European Parliament. He just trashed it. He put the cash because there was too much of it from Qatar.
You're kidding me. What happened to him?
He just left it because he said it was physically that was too much. I couldn't take it, so I just.
What happened to him?
He's arrested. Yes.
How many guys got arrested?
6.
Each got 50 million, or was 50 million to the 6?
No. Each 50. They were caught with 2 million. I'll show you the pictures.
Each got 50 million?
About 50. We don't know exact numbers, but about 50 each one of them. I'll show you the picture of the suitcases when they were arrested, full of money.
Is it public?
Yeah, CatarGate. Google it. CatarGate, Dominik Tarczyński, because I was the one who revealed the whole story in Poland about the scandal. So I don't think Qatar likes me very much, but you can see suitcase.
$50 million.
Yeah. Each.
Looking up to see if they see it.
Yeah, Eva Kaili, that's the one, the blonde girl. And this is Panzeri, the guy who was very much in...
And she's one of the ones that got caught?
Yeah, she was caught, and he was caught as well.
Both of them?
Yeah, socialists, obviously, and the communists.
It's amazing how you're socialist, but when it comes down to you getting money, you're a capitalist.
No, of course, when it's come to bribes. So obviously one of them, Panzeri, and then there was another Italian MEP who was a member of the Italian Communist Party. And obviously it's always leftists who are in support of Arab world and obviously taking money for what they do.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
And are they in jail right now? Or are they back in politics again?
No. They did not run. I think some of them are released, but the trial is on. The funny thing, very, very sad thing is that in European Parliament, you can buy a vice president of the parliament to say beautiful things about Qatar. It's really scary. The whole story is unbelievable. How much? Yes, that's the one.
Go lower to see if we can see
that.
800,000
euros. It's nothing. It's just.
Yeah, but there was a picture on it that I wanted to show the audience so the audience can actually see it. It's pretty wild to see stuff like this taking place, but
in European Parliament.
And
why is it Qatar?
Why is it?
I don't know. I have no idea. But again, on the streets, students wearing communist symbols on their T-shirts. In the European Parliament, high-level politicians, they're always communists and socialists. There's a link between these high-level politicians who are corrupted and the youngs who are protesting against Israel. So when I see the links, when I see the dots, when I add all the arguments, if you ask me, I cannot be pro-Palestine. There you go.
But this is the money that they had. So let me ask you. So for you, you're not going away anytime soon, okay? From your energy, your vibe, just watching you, you're a true believer. You're a fighter. You are meant to do what you're doing right now. What is your plan on how to, deal with the Muslim community the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years? They're going to get bigger. And by the way, so you may say, yeah, but it's not going to happen in Poland. Yeah, but it's going to happen in every country around your country.
Then come to Poland.
What do you mean?
I mean, if you want to be safe, if you want to feel safe, if you want to feel normal, if you want to live normal, if you want to...
Yeah, but they're going to attack you. You're small. You're not that powerful.
Well, I know what you mean. Well, obviously, there is a way out of this craziness, but it's up to the leaders.
What do you mean?
I mean, if religious leaders will not lead the way of change, if Iran will not change, nothing will change, and there will be a war. I think if the war, please God, I hope it's not going to happen, but if the World War III will start, it will start on religious base. It's going to be religious.